What's up, gamers? And today, PRYDWEN is in hot waters. This is PRYDWEN's worst take yet, and that take is using GPT. They're using AI to formulate their, I guess, change logs, I guess. Or that's at least what this Reddit user is calling out. So we're going to go over this Reddit log today to really see what's actually going on here. And we're going to check it out for ourselves to see if any of this verbose has actually changed over. And we're going to read this whole thing here. This thing actually does have about 3,800 upvotes right now. So r/Honkai Star Rail, and this is actually pretty popular right now on Reddit. I don't use Reddit, guys. I don't know what up dudes. I don't know. I don't get on Twitter much. I mean, well, Reddit much. I don't get on Reddit much. I don't know what the lingo is here, but basically what they're saying is the latest PRYDWEN update is unedited chat GPT, and they go over a couple things here explaining it. First over, we have moreover, Big J himself has delivered an impressive display, further amplifying the synergy between the two. Wait, what? Yeah, I guess. And then ensuring an accurate assessment of their standing in the evolving competitive landscape. What? So they're obviously using very, like, weird verbose here, like, weird, like, wording on stuff, right? And that's what it kind of says right here. The text is unnecessarily verbose and has a lot of words without meaning anything, with a shit ton of predictability. No perplexity, no whatever that word is there. If you ever worked in education or academia or content writing, it is very noticeable. Exactly like some assignments turned in by my students. I only took a snippet from the underlying sentence structure that are very verbose. For example, the ending sentence with a participle phrase. I don't know what the fuck that. Guys, what is a participle phrase? I'm a dumbass. I don't know what this shit means. I got a freaking D in English, bro. I don't know what this means. What does it say here? How to form and recognize participles. Smiling, skipping, filled, shaken, burnt. Okay, okay, a principal phrase in a group of words consisting of participles or modifiers and or pronouns, noun phrases that function to modify as a direct object. Yeah, there are a lot of those actually, now that he brings it up. Impressive display, further amplifying the synergy of the two, ensuring an accurate assessment of their standing and evolving competitive landscape. Yeah, that is kind of weird there, isn't it? Let's go into this next one here, Acheron. In our previous tier list iteration, we dropped Acheron from Apex Tier 2 to her poor and inconsistent performance in this mode. She displayed non-Apex results with both of her most common teams, dot and double debuff, neither which scored high enough to maintain her ranking. However, with the release of Big J has changed the landscape, allowing Acheron to achieve Apex-worthy scores once more. Chef J's ability to provide Acheron with far more ultimates and consistent damage amplifications, even as new enemy spawn has revitalized her performance despite her average score remains low on our data, largely because players without Big J continue to struggle, dragging down her average clears. Given that the tier list is ranked with characters' best teams in mind, we are raising Acheron back to Apex tier. So yeah, I mean, that was just kind of hard for me to read in general. I feel like it's always been, like, kind of hard to read. I feel like the average, like, honk shit Starbucks player, we're just kind of like dumbasses that don't really read too much anyways. Who reads skill moves, right? We just get our guides from YouTubers and stuff like that. And we like seeing, like, very short, compact things that goes like this to read, so we don't have to, like, really look too much into it. There's a whole lot of text here, and that's a whole lot of extra shit that's not needed. Now, is that technically AI? I don't know, but I guess he's going to get into it here more so let's continue with this. I also provided the previous changelog so you can compare it to yourself. This is much more direct and detailed, like saying JQ provided to Acheron specifically, while ChatGPT text was using terms like impressive display and dynamic pairing. Yeah, I guess it is kind of off, right? The wording is a lot more off here, even though I just said this is hard. This is still overall, like, kind of hard to read. This is definitely more hard to read, though, with all, like, the classifiers they're putting in here, but I understand what he means here. I think it still needs to be dumbed down a bit. But that's just maybe my copium dumbass. Now, I want to say something. I really don't have an issue with people using AI to generate these topics and stuff like this. Like, they own the website. They can do whatever the fuck they want. I think if they want to use AI to help them generate stuff like that, that's completely fine. But when AI has a negative impact, or I guess it gives you a diminished product just for the lack of work that you want to write it up, I think that's when it's kind of shitty to use it, right? I think that AI should be used to enhance stuff and not necessarily use it as a placeholder to just like, oh, well, I need to get this shit out, pump it out right now. We're not Quabblecop over here, right? We're not trying to make whole YouTube videos with just generated AI, right? There needs to be some level of creativity to it, some level of user input to it, and some level of just like overview of the product as a whole. And I don't really think there was much overview of the product here. Maybe there was, I could be wrong, but further amplifying the synergy between the two, that's fucking rough, man. Now let's continue with this here. Now, I don't have an issue with AI being used for work, and understandably, if they are short on people, but it just sucks reading these low quality writing. I absolutely agree. I think if it diminishes diminishes the work, diminishes the value of the work, or the actual quality of the work, I think that's when AI shouldn't be used. AI should be used to enhance, not as a placeholder for a person there that you don't feel like doing it, even if you're shorthanded, right? Because then you get a muddy down product that people don't really understand, like the complaints here. But oh, guys, look at this edit. The text on the changelog has been changed. If you check PRYDWEN now, it will have different text than was posted here. It seems they have acknowledged a problem. Edit 2, in case people are confused about the use of AI, copy paste here or apply. I did a thread. 100% what happens is a draft or a rough draft was made and they use ChatGPT or something similar to fix the grammar issues. Yes, this is exactly what happens. They're similarly fed bullet points and draft in the ChatGPT and they flush out the rest of the text. The issue is that the process stopped there. There was no editing of the ChatGPT afterward, which results in low quality content. As I already said, I have no issue with AI in your work. It's just sloppy editing. Exactly. It's just very sloppy editing in the end. Like, if it's not enhancing the product, don't use it. Like, I think it couldn't be used as a platform to enhance your product. That's like me going into like MS Paint here and trying to generate an image that says Kafka from Honkai Star Rail sitting from Black Swan from Honkai Star Rail, and then actually using that as like a thumbnail picture, and then it spits out some dumb shit like this. He's like, oh, that is definitely, that is Kafka and Black Swan right there. God, I didn't look at this. Kafka and Black Swan, guys. Did you know that's Kafka and Black Swan? And just posting that, no one's gonna know what that is, right? Like, what the fuck is that? And I feel like that's the same reception that's being given here. Is like, you just like copy and paste some shit that ChatGPT posted out, and like, what the fuck is this shit, right? Like, I don't think it's a problem at all to use ChatGPT to help you create something, but I feel like the human spin needs to be on it still. This does lead me to an additional question, right? Is if they're using ChatGPT, now this is alleged, right? We don't know 100% for sure that it's being used. I think the fact that they changed it can lead further to that point. This is not like an admission of guilt or anything that they're using ChatGPT, but like I said, don't have a problem with ChatGPT unless it's being used to enhance the work or helping the creation of something that you put your own human spin on that makes it interesting to read, that brings up the quality of the content. Another issue that could be brought with this is if they were to use ChatGPT for something like this, who's to say they don't use ChatGPT for something else, right? Now, I feel like it's going to be very hard to use ChatGPT, especially for characters that are just released in the game right now. I feel like they're inputting their own feedback and what they think into the prompt, and like ChatGPT is kind of making an overview of what they're saying, right? But what if they were to use ChatGPT for some of their character builds, right? Let's say Fi Zhao, right? And we were to go to the builds and team section here. Like, sure, these are the best sets right here. We have WuWA here as a video tier list guy, which I'm assuming that's where they're pulling their build guide from, and it's just showing us the video here. But who's to say that they're not using ChatGPT in some sort of way to build up these builds here and lead people to build the characters these ways? One more scenario that I could think of them using AI on is actually this team usage rate right here, right? As you can see, we have team usage rates for like MOC 12, 11, whatever, and the same thing goes for Pure Fiction, Apocalyptic Shadow as well. But what if they were to use AI based off of people using these teams to clear and how many people are using said team to clear in said cycles? What if one becomes so reliant on that and like just gathering data from other people that we don't do any creative thinking ourselves anymore, right? Not to say the AI can't do creative thinking, but if it's just taking a data pool of only like what the best teams are that people are using and not like more niche teams that could work on certain scenarios, I see a problem with that, right? And just as a quick like little note of this, right? I think Sampo should be moved up this tier list. I do not think he's a niche character because of the win weakness. I think he works actually really well with Black Swan, and I would argue to put Black Swan probably up here in tier 0.5 and move Sampo up this tier, but I don't think that that would be accounted in for the data because no one's using that. And if no one's using that, why even include that data in the first place if they're like, well, no one's using it, so why should we test the team? If no one's using it, it's probably not that good, right? Do you guys understand what I'm saying? Anyways, guys, I don't think AI is bad in these scenarios and using it to enhance your work. I just think it should be used to only enhance your work or maybe give ideas for some work, but not be the work itself, right? Like, the AI can help you get there, but someone real needs to put the finishing touches on it. Anyways, guys, that's a weird, long, drawn-out fucking video of the drama with PRYDWEN. Anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. That was really weird. I'm out. I'm gonna record my actual tier list video now. See you guys later. Bye.